You know, the average time that people around the world brew tea, it's 17 seconds.
Tea timer.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm delighted that you've all decided to come because it's always difficult to talk about tea in a festival that's so full of wine and food. But thank you for coming, and I hope that over the next 30 minutes or so that you're going to learn a little bit that's going to transform your tea experience. Every tea has a story. Now each of those teas that we passed around have a very unique story. It's about the nature, it's about the climate, the altitude, the elevation in which it's grown. So many different perspectives on tea. We're also here to talk a little bit about gastronomy. Gastronomy, of course, is the combination of flavors and the harmony of flavor on the tongue. And I don't know if you went to the chef's table across there yesterday and earlier today, but Shane Yardley was presenting the potential of tea in gastronomy.
And right here on the Fisher & Paykel Chef's Kitchen right now we have Shane Yardley. He's been inspired by tea.
Yeah, my new favourite thing, tea and food. Who would have thought? Absolutely amazing combinations you can come up with tea. I was fortunate enough to be invited by Dilmah to take part in the Chef and the Tea Maker series. 12 chefs from around the world, all meeting in Colombo, in Sri Lanka. Absolutely wonderful kaleidoscope of tastes, of textures, of different teas. So I'm just bringing up some water to the boil, and when I've done that, I'll steep the tea for 3 minutes, and then we'll start to build our drink. I normally go 1 tea bag to 200 mils of water, okay, and let it sit for 3 minutes. Next thing we're going to move on to the piece de resistance, the main event, venison. Lively lime and orange fusion tea from the tea series from Dilmah. Very simply presented. Presentation, people eat with their eyes.
Each week we produce approximately 8,000 to 10,000 different types of tea, each with its own identity, with its own terroir and its own characteristics. So the wonderful and for us the magical thing about tea is that with each of those different teas you get a characteristic depending on whether it's grown on a north-facing slope, an east-facing slope, whether it's grown in chalky or loamy soils. It's something truly extraordinary. taste and the ability to taste is not something that you're born with, it's something that you acquire. So already New Zealanders have excellent palates because of your appreciation of wine. I'm just going to bring these around and I invite you to have a look. I know everyone tells us you have to look to the 21st century, look to the future, but in certain cases, in tea especially, there is nothing. There's only one right way of making tea, of producing tea. There are essentially three types. Essentially, there's a green tea, which is non-fermented. There is oolong tea, which is semi-fermented. And finally, there is black tea, which is fully fermented. Those are the essential, the different types of tea. Always remember the taste of tea. Whatever you add to tea, whether you add vodka or whiskey or whatever it is, try to remember the rules of gastronomy. Try to match flavor, texture, components. So the idea is when you're having a cup of tea, try to taste the tea. So please enjoy it. If you have any questions, I'm around. And I would like to thank you very much for joining me this afternoon and my colleagues. Thank you.
I like the vanilla, the white tea.
The white tea.
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah.
The peppermint. Yeah. Green tea and jasmine.
And yours?
Yeah, this one I quite like.